Part 22 now of the emergency storage shed clean out. We did some milk crates and stuff full of books last time. There's some more crates I want to get rid of, and hopefully we can get some more good value. Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. This series is progressing nicely. We're getting multiple boxes done every week. We're starting to make quite a bit of space in that room. Let's go and have a look. It's really nice to come out here now and actually not have to do the sideways shuffle through into the main shed. So we're going to finish off that stack of milk crates today, and they appear to be magazines or books, so we'll try and whip through as many as we can. If you saw my last episode, the books can be really profitable, plus I find a few that I like myself. So let's get into those. Looks like magazines in bags on the top, but there are some other things here that look really curious. Some little boxes. What's in those? I'm pleased to get these crates away from the door because there was a bit of moisture coming in from the wet, drizzly days we've been having. So I'll bring all the crates through and then we'll go through and see what's in them. This is pretty well all stuff from that radio shed clean out job, which I'll link the card above for the series. And I'm not sure if I've done an update on that series lately. In fact, I know I haven't, other than these unboxings. I'll go back and check out where I got up to. And I might put an updated total because there's a lot of good value out of that house and shed, plus a lot of test gear that you often see in the background that I'd like to keep and use myself. 4 milk crates will make a big amount of space out there. Pretty happy with that. Let's deal with it. Okay, I think most of these are magazines. Let's get this one up here. Give us a bit of room to work. And again, they're all packaged in plastic, which has been excellent. These are electronics magazines. Now, I may have mentioned, well, I did mention in the actual series that I was doing on this clean out that this guy was in the RAF, in the Air Force, through World War II, and he was a radar technician. And after the war, he got into ham radio and a lot of electronic stuff. So he obviously, there you go, a magazine to do with the aircraft. But he did a lot with electronics, and I guess he adapted from his World War II radar days with valves and fairly primitive electronics right through to computerized stuff. So he travelled through an interesting development stage in electronics, and of course it's still developing a lot more. These are dated 1994, so you know the internet was still new. I don't know if he ever got on the internet, but he obviously kept following it, and these are all electronics magazines. So I will check out online to see if these sell. I don't know if they're sorted into year lots or not, but this whole crate is electronics magazines. All right, they shouldn't take long to process. One empty crate. Now, I'm not surprised at all that this guy had them all organised in plastic bags and in chronological order. We have 6-month lots, January 95 through to June, and then July 95 through to December. Same with 96. So they're in 6-month lots until we get to 99, where I guess the magazines were getting thinner and thinner. And it's interesting to compare the thickness of the magazines. He got the whole year in that packet in 1999. But if we go back to the earlier ones, 1992, they're much thicker magazines. So I get it's a bit like that shrinkflation, isn't it? The price in 92 was $4.95 per magazine. And the price in 99 was, where's the price? $5.95. So they were $1 dearer, and yet the magazine was half the thickness. Interesting. Anyway, what price am I going to do with these? Well, I've had success selling these through the shop before in year lots or 6-monthly lots. I just forget, but I must have unpacked some of these boxes because I have sold some packets like this. And I think I'll just go $5 for a 6-month lot or $10 for a 12-month lot. And that way customers can decide which ones they want, or, you know, if they only want a couple of the magazines, they can buy a 6-month lot to get those magazines. I won't sell them per magazine, otherwise they'll hang around forever. But I've had success selling them in bundles before. I checked eBay and there are quite a lot of lots of these on there, including some bundled into 12-month lots, and they weren't getting $10 because of the postage issue. Again, I keep talking about that with books. Books are heavy. Magazines are heavy. Postage is expensive. So eBay is not the place to sell this sort of stuff. but I will be able to sell them through the shop. So I'll add up the price on these. I won't take these to the shop yet because I have a feel, I can, it doesn't matter because I'm selling them in 6-month lots. So these will go, be $10 per year. And some of them don't have the complete lots of years, but they are in the 6-month lots. So it's going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, that's 1 year's $50, 55, 60, $65 approximately. And I'll box them up and go to the shop. We'll add them to the list and we'll unpack the next milk crate. Let's drag another milk crate into the arena. We have more magazines, coin and banknote magazines. I don't know if the whole milk crate's taken up with those. Let's unpack them and see. These are 2015. These are much more modern magazines. And I will certainly have to check eBay to see if these have a following. They were $8.50 per magazine. So he must have spent a lot of money on magazines. Oh no, these are different. All right, we have other books in here. The Dog Watch, published annually by the Ship Lovers Society of Victoria. I don't know anything about this. So he must have been a ship lover as well as a train lover and a coin lover and a bird lover. He certainly bought a lot of reading material. I don't know if it's all this. That one's Plants in Victoria, a handbook, volume 1. And a little bit of silverfish damage there, but that one wasn't in a plastic bag. There's more magazines in plastic bags in here. What do we got this side? Looks like railways stuff. Light Railways News. So we'll check that out shortly. And some magazines on the railways. We'll get these Dog Watch ones. I'll have to check those. I have no idea about those ones. It looks like all these ones are going to be the Dog Watch. So we'll get those out of here. And these other ones in plastic bags are smaller magazines. And it looks like, yeah, Light Railways, number 61 to number 76. I wonder what dates they are. Looks a bit earlier than, well, certainly earlier than the coin stuff. We'll get one out and have a look. That's an index. 1982. So it's a magazine, I presume it's Australian. Yeah, published by the Light Railway Research Society of Australia. They're only a small booklet. They're not your glossy magazine. But yeah, I don't know what sort of value they'll have either. But there's a lot of them. So again, I'll check eBay, see what sort of value we're going to have here. More railway stuff. What are these two booklets? "1927 Victorian Railways Grades Book." Now that's interesting. I wonder, it doesn't look that old. 1975. Must be a reproduction. Yeah, it's a facsimile reproduction of the last gradient and curve diagram book from the Victorian Railways. That's interesting. Oh, it's the actual gradients, how the tracks, it's like an elevation plan of the tracks, how steep they are. Yeah, interesting, but I don't know how much use that would be to the average man in the street. And I think I've lost interest in it pretty quickly, but it's quite amazing that they actually published this and then reproduced it. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll check eBay on that. The other one is another supplementary diagrams to the same book. Geez, you want to be right into your trains to buy those sort of books, won't you? All right, I'll check this and we'll get back to you. It's a couple of nights later and I'm just getting back to this job. I need to finish this because we're heading off to the farm tomorrow. I've checked out a lot of this stuff on eBay. Some sells quite okay, some doesn't sell at all, and some I couldn't find much on, which is more promising. The coin and banknote magazines actually sold quite okay. They were fairly expensive. It was $10.50, $8.50. They range from about 2014 up to, I think, 2017. There's 12 of them there. I'm going to go for something like $3 each. Let's say about $30 for those. I think they'll sell okay. There's always people in the shop looking and asking for coins. The dog watch magazines down the end here, as interesting as they are, and they actually date back, this one's 1943, but there was a lot of them online, and I really struggled to find any that sold for any money at all. I'm just going to put $10 on that whole lot, and someone will maybe think they've got a bargain and run off and try and resell them and find they're not really that sought after. Someone might well be interested in them, but I don't see much value from what research I've done, so we're just going to put $10 a lot on those. The Plants in Victoria book, I found numerous copies priced anywhere up to $100. There's some fairly ambitious sellers online. I think I saw most of them were over $50, and yet I hadn't seen any sold. I'm only going to put $10 on that. I like to be realistic and make sure things sell. What else have we got? Well, we've got all these railways magazines. The light railways ones didn't sell. There was quite a lot on there. They must be pretty common. Some sellers were selling them at $2 each. I'm not going to muck around for that low amount. But there was quite a few that sold at that, and there was a couple of bulk lots that sold, and they averaged out about $2 each. These are in lots of 15, so I'm just going to go $10 per lot. So that will be cheap enough to encourage someone. So that's $20 for those ones. These three more modern ones, fairly expensive at $7.95. I might just put $5 on those three. I think they're much more likely to sell, being nice and glossy. So that's $25. The grade maps and the supplement book, I found a few of them online. Some, I didn't really see any good sales. I'm just going to put $5. Oh, yeah, we'll just go $5 on the pair on those. I think they'll sell quite well. So it's $30 we're up to. These ones, the Railway Enthusiast magazines, seem to be much more sought after. There wasn't as many on there, and they were selling quite well. Some of them were selling for $7 each. I didn't actually count those. Look, it's really hard to value when you don't get a lot of results online. I found a few of them through Google, but you don't always get prices that way. But there were certainly some selling on eBay. There wasn't a lot that went through without selling. And these ones are even older. I know it's Light Railway News. I didn't find many copies of that at all. What I'm going to do, for the purposes of this valuation, I'm going to write down, say, $20 for that stack and maybe $10 for that stack. But I'm actually going to put those away, and I will eBay those, and I'm sure we'll do a lot better. But it may be quite a bit down the track by the time I get round to it. I'm not worried about stashing some good eBay stock aside. It's easy to store. And realistically, the older these get, the less they're going to survive, and they could even be more valuable. But we'll write down 20 and 10 for the purposes of this valuation. Very conservative figure there. So we had 30. That's another 30. So it's $60 for the railway stuff. Then we can also add in these two books, which I did find examples online, and some of them were selling as well. This one's, I'm not sure if it's Victoria, but they've got some great old photographs. It looks like it is Victoria. I can see a few town names that are nearby here. Although it might be Australia-wide. Anyway, I reckon I'll get 10 for that. And this one's Tasmania, Western Tasmania. Again, some really good history. I think I'll get 10 for this one as well. Great early photographs. So 60 over there, and another 20's 80. These ones are again awkward to research because it's more local history. This is the railway line that goes from Melbourne up to the border of New South Wales on the way to Sydney. And I was flicking through that book before, and it shows some of the early railway stations around this area, because we're not far from that line, that were passenger platform stations and wool stores, and quite a decent construction beside the railway line that nowadays are only trees alongside the road, and you wouldn't ever know anything is there. I know a couple of spots where I've been looking for bottles that used to be a railway station, and now it's basically the side of the road and a farmer's fence and a paddock. So there's a couple of other books like that in there. Could be quite valuable to the right person. I'm probably just going to nominate $10 for that, but again, I think that will eBay much better. What's that, 70? Have I lost track? No, I think we might be up to 90. So that's all the railway stuff. Okay, so I'll write all those prices down. We'll add it to the list. We've still got a couple of crates to get through very quickly. Okay, let's get into milk crate number 3, and we'll try not to dilly-dally because this video will go forever. Well, not really forever. What do we got here? We've got electronics. Of course, you've got to have nice looking girls on the cover to sell electronics. Electronics Australia Today. I think these are all the same. Electronics, yes. So these are much more recent magazines. 2001, probably, well, they're not as new as the coin ones, but they're much more recent as far as our electronics goes. I don't think they're going to be worth, that's Electronics Australia, actually, that's one of the older ones. All right, so we have a few more older ones. Electronics Australia. I might carry these ones over because I do think there's more milk crates of these, and I'd like to make them up into at least 6-month lots so that we can get our $5 or so. These ones, perhaps we'll just put 5 on these. We do have 6 of them. I don't know if they're the same year. Didn't see a year. And 2001, yeah, all right, so we'll put $5 on these ones. And the other ones I'll just carry over. Now, we have lots more packets of things. What do we got here? Oh, more railway magazines. Okay. Australian Railway Historical Railway, well, Australian Railway Historical Society Bulletin, 1983. I'll have to check these ones as well. Railway Historical Society Index to Bulletins. Yeah, they're all the same. Oh, all bulletins, yes. And some not in a packet. More of the same. And we'll take this box out for now. That gives us an empty crate. Now this box did have some small boxes of things. Oh, it's got some, these are reel-to-reel tapes. That feels empty. We'll check those in a minute. There's an envelope here. Tape listing. It must be a index of what's on the tapes. Oh, they're movies. Chariots of the Gods, 7 Little Australians, Ben Hall. Okay. We'll check those out later. We'll get these other boxes out just at the moment. We'll have a look in these in a tick. And down the bottom we have probably another $5 worth of modern electronics magazines. These must have been before someone decided it was a good idea to have a nice looking girl on the cover. Alright, so say another $5 there. Empty box. We'll look in these at the end. What are we going to do with these bulletins? I'll just check a quick eBay price on these. Okay, I've just had a look, and these ones actually do sell, and there was a few sellers selling them in bulk lots of half a dozen at a time, or even one seller was selling year lots, and they were getting $20 and $30 per lot. So with that in mind, there's quite a few dollars worth of magazines here. Now, I didn't see many that didn't sell. If I was to list these in year lots for say $25, I'm confident they would sell. But yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these away as well. I'll write down a nominal price of $50 for all this. Again, I think that's very conservative. They're in great nick. Most of these date from the 70s to the 80s. There are some earlier ones. And they're presented really well with their index, all in plastic bags. They'll be easy to throw on eBay. They'll be easy to post. And it looks like they're sought after enough to actually make it worth my while. So we'll value this lot at $50 for the purpose of this video, because that would be pretty much a fire sale price. We'd get that easily from what I've seen. But I'm silly to quit them. It won't take much room to store these. And I will be looking for eBay stock down the track. And books are so easy to list and post. So I've justified keeping them. But, you know, only because I don't really need to discount everything. I'm just trying to get organised. So $50 for all those. We've done the electronics magazines. We've just got to look through those little boxes, and then we've finished this milk crate and one more to go. I'll bring you in a bit closer for this. Now I've established that there's some tapes here. I think this one's empty. Don't even know how to open these. Probably from the top. There we go. Yeah, so that one's empty. I'm not sure if they have much of a... yeah, that's just an empty reel. I know the reels are handy because you do need an empty reel when you're playing one. But as for the cases, I don't know if these are really sought after. This box looks like it, feels like it has a tape in it. Oh, it opens the same way. So that's got something recorded on it, I guess. So we may make a bulk lot of these. There's nothing written on that as far as what's on it. Unless that refers to that. And we'll just get some of these here. That's obviously another tape. And it says orange leader the Seekers, white leader showcase excerpts. So I guess the orange leader and the white leader, do they mean part of the tape that feeds through? Is that the leader? It's red, not orange. Oh, there's an orange bit. It's been chewed off. Maybe? Maybe that's white. Not sure, but we think this is a music one. And I'll probably be able to sell that okay. Again, if we put these in a bulk lot, someone will probably be interested. Don't think they're a lot of value. And is there any tapes in these? Feels like there is. They're heavy enough. Well, there we go. So I don't know if that's been recorded on or not. I think we'll put all these in a bulk lot with the empty cases for, I don't know. What if we go $20 a lot? See how we go. If they sit there for a while, we'll drop them to 10. But we've got a good chance of getting 20 for all those. Now, what's in these boxes? This looks like a jewellery. It's not very heavy, but there's something in it. Oh, wrong way up. Oh, I think that is, yes, it's a old record player head. A stylus. The foam's starting to deteriorate in the box. But that's the brand of it. And it's Autophon. I guess that's how you pronounce it. So that's the actual shell or the head. And I don't think it actually has a stylus in it. No, it's only the shell. But that's a part that gets damaged. So that could well have a market. I'll check eBay on that one. These look like, oh, they're playing cards. Canadiana. So I gather they're Canada. Yeah, Toronto. Made in Canada. And they're just some nice playing cards. With, I guess, are they a Canadian bird? Not sure. You Canada guys will tell me. Cool little deck of cards. Quite vintage. Probably 1950s. I think we'll get $5 for those. I'll count them to make sure they're all there. What's in the chocolate box? We have, oh, more hi-fi gear. There's another head shell, and that could be a good one. I better check the brand because some of these styluses can be worth a lot of money. I'll check that one. And what's in this little box? Looks like we have some other parts there. This feels empty. Oh no, it's got another head shell. So we've got two of those. And this one, I can't actually see a brand on it. Well, I can see some writing. I'm not sure what brand. It says M. Supex. Not sure. I'll have to do a quick check on that one. And do we have another one? Gramophone record cleaning machine. Oh, okay. Oh, that's just a pad. Numerous pad, a little brush for cleaning your gramophone records. That's a nice little kit. Slides together. With record on turntable, apply parastat across recorded area. Use light pressure during 2 or 3 complete turns. There we go. I'll check that on eBay. I haven't actually seen one of those before, so I'm not sure if they're worth a lot, but that's a nice little piece in its original box too. Okay guys, I'm back from checking some of these on eBay, and I'm going to handle them much more carefully now. This one I didn't find any completed sales. It's a Supex SM100 head shell with the cartridge. Looks as new. I don't know if it is or not. I found 4 or 5 of these for sale, and the cheapest one was over $200. They haven't sold though, and I couldn't find any completed listings. I did find some other ones of these Supex brand ones that were actually had sold for many hundreds more. So obviously a very highly sought after brand. That's going to be some really good value. I'm going to treat that carefully. I'm going to eBay that. And also the Autofon head shells. Unfortunately, just the shell. That one's in good condition with the clear plastic cover underneath. But it possibly even is a brand new replacement head shell. I found one of these exact items complete with the cartridge, and it wasn't working. It was listed as faulty, and it still made nearly $500 with 23 bids. So the shell clearly is going to be worth something, because that's the part that gets damaged. Don't know what it's going to bring. 100 maybe, 150 in the original box. And the other one, unfortunately, the other one's been modified and a bit mutilated. It's had the end cut clean out of it, so it's obviously not going to be desirable. But then again, you know, someone might just buy it for the little hook thing on the side or the connector at the back. I'll list them both together. I'm going to nominate a price as far as their values go here. I'm going to say $100 and $100. I'm going to say $200 for our notepad. But I will eBay these, and in a future video I'll let you know the results. I might even film the endings if they're a good finishing auction. But certainly I'm going to put them aside for now to eBay. A great little find, very happy with that. I might put some bubble wrap around that one before I store it away. So that was the end of this milk crate. Let's do the last one very quickly. This video is going to be a bit longer, but sorry about that. We wanted to do all 4. What's our last crate got in it? Well, we have another of these reels. It's a larger style one, but I'll still put that with the other group because I don't think it's worth selling on its own. We have, what's in here? Fishing gear. Yep, just some little sinkers. Some more sinkers. A couple of lures. Some of the old fishing lures can be quite valuable. But I don't think there's anything in here that's particularly good. And some little containers with hooks in them. More hooks. And some little connector things. I think we'll just put this in the shop exactly as it is. I like to sell fishing gear in bulk lots, particularly if it's just average bits and pieces. We'll go $5 on all that. We have some cartridges for a slide projector. I don't think these didn't suit the slide projector we did a while back that had a similar shaped one. And a few of you mentioned that you had some cartridges, but these are a Hanimex one, and that's a different brand. And I remember I did try these in that other projector. I can't remember the brand of it now, and they did not fit. But I think we could probably sell these ones separately. I'll check eBay to see if anyone wants them and see if they have a bit of a demand. But I'll put them in the shop if we don't get a good price. Well, I'll work out a price. What's this? Oh, these are the boxes for them, are they? Do they fit in there? No, too big. Don't know what these boxes are for. They're too small for pianola rolls. We have 3 empty boxes. Oh, coin holders. Well, he did have a coin collection. He must have bought coin holders in these boxes. I'll probably just use these boxes for putting things in the shop, so no value there. We have an arbor to suit a 6mm drill. I'm not exactly sure what that's for. Probably just in the $1 box. It was only 39 cents at Target. An old tobacco tin here, which I think is empty. Yep, totally empty. I might use this to put some drill bits or something in. I often sell drill bits in the shop in a bulk lot. Likewise, we could probably use these boxes for drill bits too. Okay, we have a stack of books. What's on the side here? A Journey Through Time, our district's timeline. What district are we looking at? Birregurra district. That's down between Geelong and Camperdown, near Colac. I think it's near Colac, 2003. So local history books can do quite well on eBay. Or else I could put it in the shop and wait for someone to come in from down that way. I'd get at least $10 for it, but I might check eBay on that one. And the envelope here, it has maybe family history stuff. Maybe they're $100 notes. No, we have some more booklets. And it's more history stuff, probably from the same area. Birregurra, yeah. Well, it might be worth selling this in one lot. There's a photo of the early school. And, oh, there's an original school. So the guy must have been to a reunion. But this will have some interest to some of the local historians if they don't already have it. eBay is a good way to find people from certain areas that are collecting history. Even if it doesn't bring a great deal of money, it's a good way to get historical records back to the right people. Okay, we'll get these books out and we'll go through them. Hang on a tick. So let's tidy this up and get through the last of the books. Half of them were these early 1900s. This one's 1927. This one's 29. This one's not dated, but it's in shillings, so it's pre-66. This one's 1929. So they're the early part of the 1900s, and they're all concerning South Australia, and they're, I guess, research booklets on, obviously, the crustaceans of South Australia, parts 1 and 2 there, marine and freshwater fishes, reptiles and amphibians, even seaweed. So these are all from different authors, and it's just detailed research. I guess they're scientific publications of early South Australian flora and fauna, I suppose. Also, there's one here on the Aboriginal man in South and Central Australia. This one is in $1.50, so it must be late 60s. And I did notice the owner had 1968 written in the cover. Then, of course, we have mammals of South Australia. More of mammals. There's 3 parts there. And the building of Australia and the succession of life with special reference to South Australia. So it's all about South Australia. I've done a bit of checking. Some of these sell, some don't. There was the occasional one that sold for reasonably big money, but only because the seller went fishing and put a big price and someone bought it. A lot didn't sell. It surprised me how many of these are actually around. So I'm going to put these in the shop at $10 per book. So if someone wants the 3 parts on something, they're going to have to pay $30. I think the people that are interested in this would pay it. They're all earlier copies. The most modern, as I said, was late 1960s. I did see some more modern reprints on eBay as well, but these are all the original ones. So that's going to add up to a fair bit. $10 per book. And the other books, there's a pretty interesting variety here. The top one is a street directory of Geelong, and I think this is around the 1930s. And it's in remarkably good condition. So some beautiful old advertisements. And there's some maps of the, well, probably not much more than a town back then. I guess in the 30s it was probably classed as a city, but it's a great reference. Geelong history. I did find a couple through Google. I didn't find any on eBay. Don't think they're super rare, so it won't get good money, but I'm going to put $20 on that in the shop. I reckon that'll sell the best there. There's a Royal Australian Air Force booklet about squadrons. Excellent condition booklet. And I found, well, it's not a booklet, it's a serious book. It's quite heavy. I did find a few references from this, a few examples that sold through eBay for quite a bit, $30 and $40 plus postage. It's 2000, so it's not super old or anything, but it's a great book. It'd be a good reference. I think I'll get $40 for that in the shop. Now, a real mixed bag of ages here. This one's a nice early book. It's in pretty good condition. It's The Weeds, Poison Plants, and Naturalised Aliens of Victoria. I think I know some of them. It's dated 1909, so it's concerning plants and whatnot in Victoria, by Alfred J. Hewitt. So early reference work again, great condition. I found a couple of reprints of these online. In fact, I think they were even new copies, whereas this is an original 1909. So it's got some nice colour plates. So I think I'm probably going to put $20 on that. Should sell fairly easily. There's a couple of copies here of Australasian tokens and coins. They're both reprints. 1921 was the original publication, and this is a 1965 copy or reprint. And then the other one is exactly the same book again, but it's a 1980 something reprint. But they're both excellent reference to anyone that's into coins or tokens. And given that it was originally printed in 1921, it would deal with a lot of the really early colonial tokens and things. And there's a lot of businesses had tokens, very collectible. Some of them are worth quite a lot. So a great reference here. I'm going to put $20 each on these. I think they'll sell fine. And the last book is a more modern book again. Carnarvon is a town on the Western Australian coast of Australia, about halfway up, and it's a sort of a coffee table book and a story of the Western Australian coastline and inland and some of the great rock formations, and I guess it touches on the Aboriginals as well. So a nice coffee table book there. There was one online listed for $100. I don't think they're rare at all. I'm going to put $20 on that. So that finishes up all of these 4 crates. This video has gone for a long time. I hope you've stuck with me. I'll get the notepad out next and see what sort of value we've got. Okay guys, I'm actually at the farm to finish off this unboxing. Just a summary of what value we found, and I'm going to do a slow reveal. We did 4 milk crates. It took me a while to go through it all. Apologies for the longer format video. Let's finish it off. We had some magazines out of the first crate. That was pretty easy, about $65. I priced out the booklets and some of the things from the second crate at $140, fairly conservatively. There will be some eBay stock included in those railway magazines, so I would expect to do much better than that. The third crate, we had some more railway stuff, and we had those turntable cartridges or head shells, which I think they'll do much better than 100 each. I've just nominated a price for this list. So that was a very nice surprise, and I'm keen to eBay them. And when I do, I'll put a comment underneath and let you know how they went, or I'll refer to it in a future video. $295 out of that one of value. And the last milk crate, as you just saw, we had some pretty cool stuff again. I allowed 100 for those South Australian books. There was 11 of them, and I said $10 each, but I just rounded down to 100. They will take a while to sell, but you know, that sort of stuff is what makes our shop interesting, and every now and again someone finds one of those old books and they're absolutely excited about it. So those books, as I've mentioned, books add up well, add up to a good price, $275 there. That gives us a total potential return of $775. So that's a really good return from 4 milk crates, plus the fact that our eBay items, the railway bulletins, some of the railway stuff there, those head shells and the cartridge could do way better than that. There may be some stuff that sits for a while, but really nice value out of 4 milk crates, and it makes some good room in my emergency storage shed. So thanks for watching another episode, guys, of the Emergency Storage Shed Cleanout series, an ongoing saga. I'm enjoying making some progress. I think most of you guys are too. So we'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.